Hemispheric bilateralism. Okay, I know it's a bit cliche, but everyone who's connected to the arts and mental health has to do a right brain, left brain piece at some point, and I haven't done one yet, so here mine is. I am aware that right brain, left brain is a bit of a fallacy. Your left brain knows that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Your right brain knows that 4 is greater than 2. Left brain remembers the lyrics to songs. Right brain remembers the tune. So, yeah, it's not quite as divided as it often is portrayed, but it looks really pretty divided into the sections. Naturally, I couldn't just do it completely cliche, so I brushed up on my neuroanatomy to try and work in some of the problematic areas of the ADHD brain. Let's take a look. So, right up here in the front, especially on the right side here, my severely underdeveloped prefrontal cortex. Yeah, I am a literal small brain. It doesn't actually have an effect on intelligence. I'd argue emotional intelligence might be an exception there. But right up in that whole frontal lobe area is where a lot of the problems stem from. A lot of broken connections with executive function and working in memory from the basal ganglia and the hippocampus, which I was always proud of remembering. You'd never forget a hippo on campus, but surprise, surprise, the brain is a little more complex than Psych 101 one term taught me. And there's a little explosive region here in the front that's connected to the limbic system, the basal ganglia, my amygdala, which is supposed to be your emotional filter. If I wasn't certain my brain wouldn't function without one, I'd argue I don't have one. It really can be shocking at times how intensely I feel things, like just how strongly I feel them, even to myself. So it must be quite a shock to everybody else around me. So try to remember all of the broken connections I have. Picture the small brain, prefrontal cortex, literal underdeveloped parts of my brain. And always remember that. And never tell someone who is neurodivergent they can get better, be cured, or fixed. That's not a thing. It's in my actual brain structure. You can't make my prefrontal cortex develop properly. Not necessarily from when I was born. I don't know enough about early treatment to know if it is a thing that development can be increased on, but we're way past that point for me. Full-blown adult in age at the very least. I can't be fixed, and it hurts probably more than anything for people to think that, or even imply that. I'm really working hard on believing what I need is to accept myself where I'm at. Notice where I'm working really hard to improve. You can't try harder than your best. And you gotta give yourself credit for really any improvements you'd make. I got really good at my oral health care this year. That was a big thing for me. It's not for a lot of people. I understand that, but it was a big one for me. And what's important for my brain is to figure out what accommodations could really help me, and then to actually ask for them. I know, again, this seems like an obvious thing, but how often do you ask for help? How often do you ask for special treatment? And how uncomfortable does that make you feel? Well, more so possibly for me, because I feel everything like a freight train has hit me. There are some very simple things that make life immensely easier for me and really shares my load of the stress not to screw up. Big one for me is over communicate. When it comes to plans, there's no such thing as too many updates. But yeah, any notion that someone can be cured of ADHD implies that we're broken. And, well, in some ways, that's definitely the case. It's not a thing that's fixed, it's a thing that's treated and acknowledged and accommodated. And I don't know how anyone can love themselves if they or someone else around them is saying that they're broken. And I don't know how you can move forward to loving yourself better if other people around you hold that view. So, that's one of the most dangerous pieces. You can be treated, you can be accommodated, you can be helped, you can design your own plans and structures that help suit your lifestyle. But don't ever try to be fixed. I'm okay. You are too.